What's up? Thanks for clicking on my video today. We're going to be looking at the difference between Spellslinger and Esper. Now, obviously, Spellslinger is popular because it has guns, dual pistols, space cowboy type deal. And I really wanted to get into the healing abilities, the healing difference between the two classes. And by far, if they don't edit Spellslinger a hell of a lot better than this, I am going to be rolling Esper. I am really disappointed with the way... I mean, this is my personal opinion. You're probably not disappointed. Maybe you are. Maybe you can agree with me on some points, and maybe you have something to say in the comments. But I personally hate the fact that none of these abilities generate any spell power. None of these abilities add to my spell power pool. Only 2 abilities in the Assault Tree do. Now, you might be thinking, well, that's because most of those abilities have a special effect when you are spell surged. I mean, you're correct on that. All of these abilities have something more when you're spell surged. But only 2 of them generate spell power out of the blue per use. And that is Quick Draw, which was recently named Mobile Fire. And I mean, it was recently named Quick Draw from Mobile Fire. And then now you have Rapid Fire. These both generate 2 spell power at tier 8, which is 16 points in the Assault Tree. Now, I went over here and I put in a plus sign, or I mean, I added these abilities to my build here to get a feel for, you know, how many abilities are builders for the Esper's ability. And you have 6 in the Assault Tree. You don't have to tier them up. You can just throw it on there, cast it like 2 or 3 times, and then hit up any one of these abilities that use side points, and you're like an absolute healer. You're just like a priest. You're overpowered, and I hate it because it's going to be way too easy. Obviously, you're gonna want a way to get focus back, and you're gonna want a way to get debuff, you know, off your allies. So you're gonna want 2 in the utility tree for any kind of healing class, I would assume, unless you're not having that big of a problem, you know, with focus. I mean, that could free up one ability and allow you to use something else. But I really have a huge problem with this ability. Fixation is just read it. I mean, it's insane. It resets all your cooldowns. It generates 5 side points, usable while in combat. It's a 120-second cooldown, but that's okay. And the cooldown is reduced by 1 second per tier. So at tier 4, you generate 10 focus every 10 seconds for 12. That's 120 focus in 12 seconds. Now let's look at meditate here. Restores 35 focus plus 8 every half second for 5 seconds. Now that's better, I guess. I mean, 35 every. Let's easier way to look at it is 70 at this tier right here. It's going to be 70, and as you go up, it's going to be more and more. But at the base tier, it's going to be 70 every second. So if I'm reading that right, which I think I am, 35 plus 35 is 70 plus 8 every half second. That's a lot of freaking. That's a lot. I mean, you're going to get 200, probably 250 out of this. I don't want to do the math, and I don't want to look ridiculous doing it or take time doing it. But it's kind of ridiculous because once you just spam any one of those abilities, or spam Soothe, which is your instant heal, instant side point, just, you know, spam, spam, spam. You got 3 side points already. And you can spend them immediately, and then hit up this ability, and then spend another one of your abilities. I mean, it's ridiculous how easy it is, how easy this build is. And I don't even have anything put in these. You know, I don't have anything put in this tree to really, you know, make my healing hard. It's all very, very easy. Now going over to the Spellslinger, they changed a lot of these abilities around. This is the most up-to-date website with the most up-to-date build. Which is nice. I mean, it's ws/base.com. Go there, and you play around with your character, get a feel for them, and you know, maybe when you get into the beta, you can start testing around, and maybe even change what class you really want. But when you take a look at these abilities, they're all pretty lame. This one was changed to an instant cast with a 4-second cooldown maximum if you tier it up. This one obviously is really, really good just to have, like, for an added protection. So every time somebody hits you, you get that much health. You get health back, and it can only happen every 3 seconds. This is your oh shit heal. You know, has a 6-second cooldown, but you can upgrade it to 45 seconds, which is amazing. Every healer, I hope to God, is going to have Vitality Burst on. Because it's looking amazing because it's an instant ability now, and if you tier it up, it's double that range, which is it's pretty damn great. And if you're Spell Surge, it does even more health. It does even more healing. Wow. And I have this ability and this ability, which are kind of the same thing before the patch came through. This one is also instant with a 6-second maximum cooldown. And I hate the fact that it only increases it by 5 meters when the original is 20 meters. But that's going to change, obviously. This is just a build. It's not, not final. These other abilities, I don't think I'm ever going to have them on my my character because they have cooldowns. The only one I really was looking at is Healing Torrent. But the thing is, I don't want to go all the way up the... I don't want to go all the way up the tree here to Healing Torrent because I really want Healing Aura, and I do believe that that's it. Healing Aura. But that's 4 points in itself, and that's 5. I just don't want to spend 20 points, 25 points in this tree when I have other stuff to get to. I really want Power Surge over here. I did play around with it. I think you guys can go over to my other video and look at the... today is the most up-to-date amp chart. So, my other video might not be as up-to-date, but I think the points are pretty solid here. 5 there, 4 here, 5 there. There's going to be at least, I want to say 7 over here. But yeah, that's just my absolute opinion on the Esper. Just because they really need to change it, and they need to make it a little bit harder to play. I mean, because a lot of these abilities they're instant, and by the way, assault powers don't use focus. So if everybody's at full health, just blow up one of your abilities here, and get a side point, and more or less try the instant with no cooldowns like this one. Obviously, 30 meters, very long telegraph, it's freeform, stationary. That's the only downside to most of the abilities, is that you can't be mobile unless you're hitting up instant abilities. So, yep, guys, I'm gonna close this video out, and I really appreciate everybody that watches this and maybe learn something. And hail Wildstar, yeah.